Welcome back to the program. Artificial intelligence, AI, is changing everything about how businesses operate. But are business leaders keeping up with the change? Executive coach Brian Gorman reimagines the future of work in his book, Leading into the Age of Wisdom, Reimagining the Future of Work. Brian, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mark. It's great to be here.
You have over 1,700 hours of coaching experience to clients at really big organizations. You work with these senior leaders, and almost universally now, they are grappling with the real implications of AI in the business world. What do you advise them?
Don't forget about people. There's so much focus on the technology now, Mark, that we're losing what value people bring. Artificial intelligence brings intelligence at a level you and I could never do. It has zero wisdom. It is unable to discern how best to apply that intelligence, has zero judgment about whether or not to apply that wisdom. And as we move forward faster and faster with artificial intelligence, too many leaders are letting wisdom fall by the wayside.
You know, I have this article from the New York Times. Just a few days ago, I noticed this. The Bank of America's chief executive, CEO, said to his 210,000 employees, you don't have to worry about AI, quote, it's not a threat to their jobs. 4 months later, they're starting to lay people off. And he says, quote, AI gives us places to go we haven't gone. And so this change is not in years. This change is really in days.
It is, and that's my concern. We're in a relatively small window in terms of getting this right, because the longer we go in one direction, the harder it's going to be to turn it.
You know, I was talking to a law enforcement leader and about AI in law enforcement. And he said to me, crap in, crap out. Right? The humans are programming the AI. The humans are determining where we're going to let it go. But you need that leadership. You need that direction. You need that wisdom, as you like to say. So this isn't just about financial jobs. It's not just about tech. It's not about law enforcement. It's across the board, you're seeing.
It absolutely is. It touches every aspect of our lives, from education right on through. There are some experiments now with, can we program robots to become teachers? And I use the example of my 7th grade English teacher, Miss Skowronski. I can still picture, nobody liked her, but I can still picture her up in front of the chalkboard teaching me how to diagram sentences. And I can also think of the teachers that just touched my heart. Neither of those things is going to happen with robots.
Mr. Starsick touched my life in 5th and 6th grade. AI hasn't touched my heart yet. So essentially, you're saying that there is absolutely a danger in leaders moving too fast on AI.
Absolutely.
So how do you tell them to slow down? This is the innovation du jour. Everyone doesn't want to be left behind.
At some point, you're going to go off the rails.
Are we there?
It depends on the organization. It's going to happen to some organizations faster than others. Bigger organizations obviously have more float, if you will. But if you let go of the wisdom in your organization, you're never going to get it back.
One of the phrases that really struck me that you've said that you've written about is that intelligence is not scarce. Discernment is. Explain that, please.
Discernment is part of wisdom. It's AI, we ran it through the models, and we know the biases that were in the models. We took care of them. We ran it through the models, and the models told us this is where we should go, so I'm going to go there. Discernment is saying, wait a minute, what's the impact on the community? What's the impact on the workers? Is this ethically the right thing to do, even though from a financial optimization perspective, it might be?
You know, I see the race between ChatGPT and OpenAI and Claude and all of these other things, right? And Gemini, and I mean, there's a bunch of them. And I wonder whether it's the race for the race's sake instead of a deliberateness about innovation.
And innovation is one of the prices we pay when we don't slow down. What's really happening, unfortunately, is Technology tends to speed things up. And so we are jumping on the speed wagon with AI. And if we don't slow down, we may just be in that dystopian future that some are predicting.
But Brian, when you meet with these senior leaders, and they're at huge companies that everybody would know, how do you convince a leader to slow down when their competitors are going faster?
It's not easy, Mark.
You've got a hard job in front of you.
It's not easy, but there is logic.
All right, final question in my last 30 seconds here. You mentioned we are in a narrow window. How narrow are you talking about?
I don't have that kind of forecasting capability, but it certainly is not decades like it was with the steam engine, and it may not even be a decade.
Are you scared?
I am.
Should we be scared?
We should. And we shouldn't let that stop us from stepping back and thinking this through.
Brian Gorman gave us a lot to think about. He reimagines the future of work in his book, Leading into the Age of Wisdom. He's an executive coach, transforminglives.coach. Brian, thanks for being on the program.
Thank you, Mark.
And we'll be right back.